need to take necessary safety precautions during maintenance of the electrical installations. Before attempting any electrical work, there are some basic precautions you must bear in mind. The possible dangers arising from the misuse of electrical equipment are well known. Electric shock and fire cause loss of life and damage to equipment. Regulations exist to control the construction, installation, operation and maintenance of electrical equipment in order to reduce the element of danger as much as possible. Where danger arises, it is usually due to accident, neglect, or some other contravention of the regulations. Electrical equipment and services on board ships must meet the minimum standards specified by the various national and international organisations. The standards specified by the various organisations are met when the ship is designed, built, approved and classified. It is the ship owner and his staff's responsibility to maintain the vessel and its electrical equipment in compliance with the requirements of the Classification Society throughout the ship's lifetime. The periodic electrical survey every 4 years is for checking that the installations meet the requirements of the Classification Society. The ship's staff must operate equipment in a safe manner and maintain it in a safe condition at all times. Failure to do so is dangerous and could have disastrous consequences. The ship's staff should keep in mind an essential list of do's and don'ts when working on electrical equipment. Do get to know the ship's electrical system and equipment. Study the ship's diagrams to pinpoint the location of switches and protection devices, supplying distribution boards and essential items of equipment. Write down this information in a notebook. Note the normal indications on switchboard's instruments so that abnormal operation can be quickly detected. Do operate the equipment according to the manufacturer's recommendations. Do maintain equipment according to the manufacturer's recommendations or the ship owner's maintenance procedures. Do check that circuits are dead by using a voltage tester before touching conductors and terminals. Do switch off and lock off supplies, remove fuses and display warning notices before removing equipment covers prior to maintenance. Do ensure that all guards, covers and doors are securely fitted and that all bolts and fittings are fitted and tightly secured. Don't neglect or abuse equipment. Don't leave live conductors or rotating parts exposed. Don't touch rotating parts. Don't touch live conductors under any circumstances. You should think safety at all times and develop an attitude of safety consciousness. This may well save your life and the lives of others. Most accidents occur due to momentary loss of concentration or attempts to short-circuit standard safety procedures. Do not let this happen to you. Nearly everyone has experienced an electric shock at some time. At best, it is an unpleasant experience. At worst, it is fatal. Anyone who has access to live electrical equipment must be fully familiar with first aid and safety procedures related to electric shock as described in relevant safety acts. Copies of these safety procedures should be displayed on board ship. Electric shock is caused by the flow of current through your body. This is often from hand to hand or from hand to foot. A shock current as low as 15 mA AC or DC may be fatal. Obviously, the size of the shock current is related to the applied voltage and your body's resistance. Unfortunately, your body's resistance goes down as applied voltage goes up. This means that the shock current is further increased at high voltages. The amount of your body resistance also depends on other factors, such as your state of health, the degree of contact with live wires, and the amount of perspiration or dampness on your skin. Typical dry full contact body resistance is about 5,000 ohms at 25 volts, falling to 2,000 ohms at 250 volts. Electroshock is often accompanied by falling, which may cause additional physical injury and require first aid action. If the shock victim is unconscious, resuscitation must take place first before doing anything else. Check the resuscitation techniques illustrated on the electric shock posters displayed on board. All equipment is subject to wear and tear, eventually reaching the end of its useful life when it must be replaced. As equipment nears the end of its life, its condition determines to what an extent it poses a danger to personnel and other power plants. The purpose of maintenance, therefore, is to extend the useful life of equipment by repair and/or replacement of defective parts, and to maintain it in a safe and serviceable condition. The marine environment is particularly arduous for electrical equipment due to the damp, salt-laden atmosphere, extremes of temperature, and constant vibration. Shipboard equipment is in particular need of correct maintenance. The continuous operation of equipment on board a ship demands high operating efficiency and optimum economy in order to keep down costs to maintain financial competitiveness. Nearly all equipment needs maintenance. An efficiency engineer or electrician must get to know his plant. He must be able to check the ship's drawings and diagrams and relate them to actual equipment. Equipment must be kept under continuous observation so that normal healthy operating conditions become familiar and abnormal operation can be quickly observed. Faults should be pinpointed and corrected before a breakdown occurs. Caution. If it is necessary to work on live equipment, then the operator must be fully protected. Only rubber gloves that are specially made for this purpose should be used. Caution. Always ensure that the generator prime mover is shut down and locked off before you begin your maintenance. Also check that the generator circuit breaker is locked off. Auto start circuits are disabled and generator electric heaters are isolated. Caution! Generator circuit breakers must be switched off and isolated from the bus bars for maintenance and testing. Maintenance of the generator is normally limited to inspection and lubrication of bearings according to manufacturer's recommendation. Clean the generators, in case of dirt, in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendation. It is recommended that you check the generator's control equipment and compare them to the test protocols delivered from the manufacturer. Limited maintenance is generally all that is necessary in the main switchboard. However, specified maintenance from the different manufacturers should be carried out. Generally, the maintenance on a main switchboard consists of cleaning, lubrication of mechanical devices and checking contacts. Note that unnecessary tightening of contacts and terminals are not recommended. This may cause deformations and in turn break or weaken contacts. Some circuit breakers may have pneumatic delay relays, which tend to change delay time due to dirt. These have to be cleaned and checked, eventually readjusted. Inspection of the instrument's accuracy may be carried out according to maintenance schedule. Inspect the generator circuit breakers in accordance with manufacturer's recommendations. Typical failure on the generator may be one or more of the following: